No.
Yeah.
Fix up the camera. Live? Okay, the Gemara. Okay, Daf Mem Dalet Amud Aleph. So we spoke yesterday. We brought the story with Rava, who paskined halacha like Rav and Shmuel. So he took the chumrah of Rav, chumrah and Shmuel, put the two together, and said that the animal is treif.
By the upper part of the
Yes, that's right.
So
we brought two bits of vesha.
The pharynx is where the voice box is.
the pharynx?
Yeah.
It's like the
No, it's a little bit lower.
Very well. It's
No.
where the voice box is. I mean,
That's by the.
it's in the oral. It's in the.
That's the air pipe, not by the esophagus. Okay, so we brought a question from the Brisa that says the halacha is like Beis Hillel, and if you want to do like Beis Shammai, you could do like Beis Shammai. So we said you shouldn't do like the kula of both or like the chumrah of both. Ella, second line Mem Dalet Amud Aleph. Ella I kebeis Shammai kekulem chumrem, I kebeis Hillel kekulem chumrem. So you do either like Beis Hillel all the time or like Beis Shammai all the time. Zog the Gemara Hagofa Kasha. L'chor, there's a stira in the Brisa itself. You first say halacha is always like Beis Hillel. The Hadal Tani, and then you say and then you say, but if you want to do like Beis Shammai, you could do like Beis Shammai. Decide, is halacha like Beis Hillel or you could do whatever you want. So the Gemara says like Kasha. The Gemara brings two answers. Kan koydem baskol, kan nachal baskol. So we know the famous baskol that said that halacha is always like Beis Hillel. So the Reisha and the Seifa is one is after the baskol that said the halacha is like Beis Hillel, and the Seifa is before the baskol that said it, and is Mimela, if you want to go like Beis Shammai, you could. The Ibai say another answer. No, could be talking about also after the baskol. The second part that says that if you want to do like Beis Shammai, you could, goes according to Rabbi Yeshua, that says that we don't paskin according to a baskol because it's mishamayim and or it's nosan l'bnei adam. It's mimela. You could do like Beis Shammai.
So you can do whatever you want.
That's right. That's right. Okay. So the Gemara at the end of the day, Mikol Makon Kasha. At the end of the day, we have a kasha on Rava. Rava paskid chumrei of Rav and chumrei and Shmuel, and we just see here in the Brisa that you can't do that. You should either do according. You always do according to one. You don't take chumras from both.
You can't do it when it's so-so.
Why? But if you mashgich in the baskets, you can do whatever you want.
That's right. But either Beis Hillel or Beis Shammai, you can't take chumrei and chumrei, or kula and kula.
Two different things or something? Like
What?
not related?
So Rashi explains that we're talking over here that something that's the same thing. That's right. The Chorah we're talking over here something that's soiser. But that's the case. With Rava that's the case. Right? We're talking the upper part of the esophagus. And we say it's also b'mashu and it's also not considered shkita. So Omar Rav Tovus Kulo Kirav Avdo. No. Rava paskin everything like Rav. The Chiyosor Rami Bar Yechezkel. When Rami Bar Yechezkel came from Eretz Yisrael to Bavel, Omar lo tetzaitu lehu la'ani klole dekal Yehuda ochi mishmei de Rav. Don't listen to the halachas that my brother Yehuda said in the name of Rav, that the Turbat Saveshet is considered a place where you could shecht. Hochi Omar Rav. The real halacha that Rav said is Veshet nosnu boi chachomim shiu. The esophagus has a specific place where you're allowed to shecht, okay, up to where you're allowed to shecht. So the Gemara says, "Michlal the turbat zaveshet la makom shchitahu." We have to say that the turbat zaveshet, which is the beginning of the esophagus, is not considered a makom shchita. Why? Because if that is also considered makom shchita, so there's no shear, because that's the beginning. So the whole thing is kosher. It's mimel if we say that there is a place where there's a shear where that you could shecht, mashma that the two bits of veshet, you're not allowed to shecht. And even though it's not makam shchita, Rav still says that if there's a hole, mashahu, it's still treif. As Mimela, that is why Rav said that place is treif, because they started the shchita in the two bits of veshet. As soon as they touched it, they cut a small nick in it, it's treif. Shchita in a proper place, it's treif. Okay, lamala ad kama.
Now we pass him. Do we pass him kosher?
I think not. I think that's treif. I don't know. That's what I recall. Okay. So now the Gemara is going to explain what are these.
What's the shear?
Yeah, what the shear of the veshet is, from where till where. So lamala ad kama. Where could you start shechting from? Start from the beginning of the esophagus. Enough to catch the esophagus with your hand. Rashi explains 3 or 4 fingers. Okay, that you could hold on to the esophagus before the shechita.
Is there turbans?
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
Bigger than that?
Turbats will be after the turbats or before the
That is the Maisa, that's probably the turbats. Because that's how it starts.
After the turbans.
That's right. So it's after, that's right.
Do you have to grab the clit and the vessel together?
You don't have to grab it. That's just to tell you where the area is. Lamata ad kama. How far down could you shecht? Yeah, as we know, the esophagus goes all the way somewhere. If you find the paper,
till the cave, goes to the
goes all the way till the keres, till the first stomach. Okay, so ad kama. Until the part where the inside of either the esophagus or the stomach starts getting hairy.
inside or outside?
Inside, from the inside.
You can't see these things.
That's right. But you know where it is. After you shecht once, and then you check one thing, did I shecht the right place? Okay, let's see now the whole thing. Once you study the whole thing, you know exactly where the areas are.
Yeah, but is it the same on every animal? Maybe it's a little bit lower, a little bit higher.
This depends on the size of the animal.
The size of the animal.
You're right, but
But
l'chora,
it's just all proportional.
the bottom line is the place where it starts hearing is the stomach, and not it's after the end of the esophagus. Bottom line. So Gemara says, "Ini, how could you say that? V'amar Ravina, amar gniva mishmei Rav, tefach beveshet samuch lakeres, zeu keres hapnimi."
How can you check that there's the root? How do you do it? The portion above the root.
Yeah. A lot of these cases are lav dafka doable, but they're. Oh, there we go.
Why would you want to do it actually?
Okay, so if we have here the esophagus, the veshet, and then we have the keres, okay, the first stomach, and then the rest of them, okay? So Rav says that the tefach, the love for the keres, is considered the keres hapnimi. Okay, if you remember, we learned in the Mishnah, keres hapnimi is with a small hole is treif, and the keres hachitzayna is if most of it tears, and then we said if it's a big animal, a tefach. Okay, so it says this tefach is considered already has a dinim of the keres hapnimis. Okay, so the Gemara asks, "Am I ki kashochat bekeres kashochit?" If we saying actually Yasir, yeah, Yasir starts here. But we just said that this is already called keres. So how can we shecht over here? You're not shechting the esophagus, you're shechting the keres. Okay? So how can you say that this is a place where you could still shecht the veshet?
Why?
It's called, we said that the last tefach of the veshet next to the keres is considered already keres hapnimi.
So you're basically not shechting.
So you're not shechting. That's right. So you're not shechting the veshet. You're shechting the keres.
You could never check there anyway.
Why?
Because it's so low on the animal. You'd be at about this part of the
You'd
animal.
be halfway
You wouldn't
through
be
the
in the neck. You wouldn't be in the region of the neck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me s-
So maybe you could still shech the nose of chest.
Yeah, here. Just so we understand, here, just so we see how far down it is, okay? We have here the mouth, and here is the cut of the veshet that goes all the way down to here. This is where the carrot starts, okay? Just so we realize.
Behind the legs.
Yeah.
What's the problem, technically?
What's it? Technically, you cut a lot of other things on the way. First of all, you make a treif by cutting the heart or by cutting who knows what else.
Also, you're nowhere near the airway, so you're no longer cutting a major symptom.
That's right. The lungs are before it also.
You wanna cut the bit.
The mitzias, it's not real do. I don't know. I don't know.
Is it kasha?
It's a good thing Nachman is not here.
It's a very messy.
Okay, right. Okay, so how can we say how? Okay. So the Gemara answers, Ema, no. Change around what we just said and say no. Tefach bekeres samuch leveshet zehu keres apnimi. No, the veshet is called veshet all the way till the keres, but the first tefach in the keres where it connects to the veshet, that is where it's called the keres apnimi. That has a din of nikuva b'mashahu. Okay,
So it would be kosher to cut the shech over there.
that's right.
So
So the questions that they say you still can have, you still have.
You
all the
can't-
questions. It's very complicated to shech over
It
there.
probably cannot be done. Okay, but halachically that's
Regarding the
good.
veshet, it's
Yeah,
considered
but another thing is also to know the halachas of the veshet. Even if you can't shecht there, what are the dinim? If there's a hole there, if there's a puncture there, it's treif. That's also what we have to know why it's where is the veshet.
even if you don't shech over there.
Yeah. Yes.
you have to go like from the neck and then like that.
Yeah. Again, we don't need. The question of a veshet here is two things. Okay. Also, is shechita place, and also is the dinim of nikuva b'mashu. Okay, because it's just if it's just any other flesh, there's no din that if it has a small hole, it's treif. A veshet does have such a din, so we have to know what part is still considered veshet. That if there's a hole in it, it's treif.
It became very controversial. This week there's an article in the Mishpacha about the force feeding of ducks. They have an who's given a hechsher, and they discussed there about how they avoided getting a hole in the veshet. Because it's like, so what they do is they actually soften the feed. So
Yeah.
They use
They make sure not to put thorns in.
soft tube to put down to avoid
Making a hole.
They solve the problem.
But wouldn't cruelty to animals be a problem?
So they discuss that.
grass,
So
so
delicious. They say these ducks. They
They
say these ducks naturally
Child
It's a natural process. It's
a
not
French delicacy.
going
Yeah.
against nature.
Okay, so that was the first answer. So we said that the first tefach. Ibay Seima. Another answer is
Kiko marav.
Kika Mara B'Teiro Nemasir Tfei. So I asked, doesn't it depend on the animal? Yes, some animals have this hair grow out of the stomach and into the veshet, and that is another an area that is not kosher for shechita because of the hair. So he's talking about a very, very specific case of a very hairy ox or cow that the hair really goes into the veshet, and that area is not considered a makom that's kosher for shechita. Omar Rav Nachman Omar Shmuel. Okay, so we said we had this turbat saveshet. I'll take a picture of this meanwhile. Okay, so we spoke about the turbat saveshet, okay, which we said is the beginning of the connection of the veshet to the mouth.
Is it right at the very, where the,
It's right here at the beginning.
yeah, oh, it's the upper part, it's not the,
Yeah, this is the kana, this is the trachea.
what's the red part above before the white starts?
What, this?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Turbat Zaveshet is from the Lechi.
It's from here.
From the Lechi till the Kodesh.
It's the super original part of the high appearance.
There you go. Okay. Sagt die Gemara. Amar Menachem Mashmo Turbat Zaveshet Shenital Kuloi Milechi Kosher. If the whole Turbat Zaveshet gets disconnected from the cheek, from here, okay, it's still kosher. Vitana Tuna, and we have another brisa that says, and our Mishnah.
How could he eat?
What?
How could he eat?
You can.
And how can it still be kosher?
Good question.
He's gonna die. He's gonna die.
Allah Mishnah. If it's not said, it's not said. Vitana Tuna, we learned in our Mishnah. Nital lechi hatachton kosher. The lechi hatachton is the bottom jaw. Okay, if the bottom jaw was taken away, it's also kosher. Matkif lo apapa asks Rapapa v'ha'ika ikul simonim. In such a case where the whole bottom is taken out, so the simonim, meaning the kana and the veshet, get disconnected. And if the kana and the veshet get disconnected, we learned that it is safe. Ula Rapapa kasha masnisim. So far, Rapapa asks about Shmuel, about the Turbat Zaveshet that was can't take it out completely, that's considered ikur. Okay? So according to Rapapa, the Mishnah still says, Kasha Masnisi Nita Lechi Atachten Kasha. The bottom, if the bottom jaw or the bottom cheek was taken away, it's kosher. So we still have a kasha. So my answer is as following. Bishlama Masnisin La Papa Le Kasha. Hade I Akur I Ukre, Ha de Igume Meilu Simonim. When we're talking about the bottom cheek or the bottom jaw being taken away, the difference between the two is that in the Mishnah where it says that it's kosher, it's talking about that just the bottom jaw was taken away, okay, but the simonim are still connected.
To what?
To the top. Okay, in place. Only the bottom jaw was taken away, but the rest of the simanim are still in place. But the other case that he was asking about of Turbat Zaveshet, that is a case where the whole thing was disconnected, and that's why Rapapa asks, how could it be that it is kosher? Because we learned that ikur simanim, if the simanim are disconnected, so it's treif. Ela Shmuel, but Shmuel, who spoke about the Turbat Zaveshet, how could it be that it's kosher? Right? He says, what's the lashon? Turbat Zaveshet shenital kuloi. It was completely disconnected. So how could it be that it's kosher? We learned that if the simanim are disconnected, it's treif. Lo tema kuloi ela ema ruboi. Fine, so don't say that it was completely disconnected, only part, and that's why it is kosher, because it's not considered ikur simonim. Says the Gemara of Amar Abba Shmuel, simonim shenidaldelu berubon treifa. He says that simonim that are not completely connected, okay, mashma are treif. Mashma, even if they're still a little bit connected, it's considered treifos. How did Shmuel say that had the first what Rav Nachman said in the name of Shmuel? How can he say that if the Turbat Zaveshet was completely disconnected, it's kosher? We say that if some of it is disconnected, it's treif. So Gemara answers no. The two cases of it being half connected. One case is if it gets disconnected in one continuous part, okay? From the beginning, okay, a certain amount of it, okay? This whole part is disconnected and this is still connected. So in such a case, it's still kosher, okay? Because it's connected, all the mute that's still connected is all connected in one place. But the case that we said, ikur simanim or shidaldelu berubam, that's treifa, is like if someone tries pulling something, okay, you try pulling something, okay, it gets disconnected only where your fingers were, okay, so you have a little bit connected, not connected, connected, not connected. In such a case, it doesn't heal back, and it's considered treifa. Okay, so that's the difference. If we have a whole area that is disconnected, okay, and the mute is connected, but it's all connected in one place, then it's okay. But if it's not connected in one continuous place, it's in different parts. In such a case, it is treifa. Okay. Upsukas hagargeres. So we learned if the trachea gets cut, or it gets cut but not by shchita, so it's treif. Tano kama psukas hagargeres. How much does the gargeres, the trachea, have to be cut in order for it to be treif? Beruba, most of it. V'kama ruba, what is considered roiv? Rav Amar, Rav Oivia, Amri lo Rav Chalala. So if we look at the trachea, so we know that the trachea is like a ring. It's not such a good drawing, but for our case it's good enough. Okay, we know that on the bottom side it's open. Okay, this isn't wrong. The bottom side is open. There's meat. What?
Basar.
Yeah, there's basar, and it looks like a horseshoe, right? Where the cartilage is much wider as opposed to the other side. Okay, so now the question is, we said roiv, most. Okay, now most, do we include the outer cartilage or not? The two shitas. Either we do roiv oivya, the whole thing from beginning to end, and then the middle is over here, or we do the middle of just the inner part, and then the middle is a little bit lower down. Okay?
What we said before about animals changing over a period of time, here illustrated thing, long piece here elsewhere about it, that they believe that the way it was described, that it's thicker, and the rov, how you calculate the rov, the way it's described in the earlier poskim is different, that animals are actually different than they are today. We don't see the same thing today.
In what way don't we see it?
It's the thickness. Whether the whole discussion is whether the thickness is on top or the bottom, it depends on how you cut it to get the rov.
was different?
Yeah,
The thesis of an animal was
that's
different.
what they
Evolution.
They say the way the poskim are describing it in the earlier times seems to be that they had a
Interesting. Okay. Okay. Hahi psukas hagargeres de'asoi lakamei derav. We had a case of an animal that the trachea was cut, and they brought it in front of Rav to check, is it kosher, is it treif? Yosef ve'kavodik la b'roiv oivya. He sat and he was starting to check it and to measure it with the including the thickness of the cartilage of the kane. Amulei, so the Talmidim said to him, you taught us that you have to calculate it only in the hollow place, not including the ring. So they sent the question to Rabbi Bar Bachana. He checked it in only the hollow area, and he was machshir. The
hollow area, though, we said
is lower down.
is lower.
That's right. That's why. If you would, what happens if there's a hole all the way to here? Okay, between the two lines. If you go according to Rav Oivya, that you start the calculation from here, it's more than Rav, so it's treif.
If you go
according to the halal, so it's not Rav, so it's kosher. Okay, it's a small area. That's the difference between the halal is the more of it has to be cut in order for it to become treif. Okay, so he sent it to Rabbi Bar Bachana. He checked it with Rav Chalala, and he said it's kosher. And afterwards, he bought meat worth of 13 slime. So the Gemara, how could he do something? Matanya, Chacham shetime and Chaveira Rasha.
It wasn't a tame, it was a suffix.
No, well, they brought it to him. He measured the ivy.
Fine, but he didn't paskin.
That's the answer of the Gemara. חכם שטימא אין חברו שתאר, אסר אין חברו שלהתיר. So how could Rabbi Bar Chana be mitayr something l'chura that Rav was mitame? And says the Gemara, Shani hacha, the Rav lo yasal meisa. Rav didn't aser, he just started measuring it, but he didn't paskin. The Talmidim saw him measuring it, they realized where he's heading. But before he paskin, they told him about measuring Rav Ovya. But Be'emet, he didn't paskin. As Mimelo, when Rabbi Bar Chana came to paskin Rav Chalala, it wasn't after psak of Rav.
So they were shopping around for the psak?
No, they weren't shopping around. Rav started measuring. He was measuring, including the Adarim. And then the Talmidim saw him measuring it, and they said, hey, why are you measuring it that way? Didn't we say we have to do only in Rav Chalala? So he stopped. And he sent it to Rabbah to paskin. Okay, the famous story of Eli with the chicken. Yeah. So this case, L'cha'ura, is a case that the Shaila went to a Rav, whether you could be materit or is it treif. And a Chacham, which is Rabba Paskin, it's mutter. And we learned, okay, that it's a gedula or a good thing not to eat from something that was asked a kasha on. Vaksi, we learned this about a week ago, something like that. V'oymar, Yecheskel said, Aha Hashem Elokim, hinei nafshi lo metumo, v'nevelo v'treifo lo yachalti min u'rei v'adata, v'lo bo b'fi b'sal pigul. He said, I wasn't tamei, I didn't eat nevela and treifa, and I didn't eat pigul. You know, actually, Yecheskel said such a thing. I mean, he was a navi. So the Gemara explained, what does it mean? I didn't have any hirurim during the day that shouldn't become tamei in the night. I never ate a basar of an animal that's going to die, and I said shech quickly before the animal dies. I didn't eat from an animal that a chacham had to paskin whether it's kosher or treif. He didn't eat from it, even though he was a kohen. He didn't eat from an animal that they didn't take off the Israel Chayam for the kohen. So we see that there's an inyan not to eat from an animal that had a treifa shaila, and even if a chacham paskin that it's kosher, we still don't eat from it. Sigmar says, Hani Mile. Hani Mile Milsa de Tali Besvoa. Rabba Baba Chana Gamre Somach. So Sigmar explains, no. When we talk about a shela for a chacham that you shouldn't eat from, it's talking about a case where there's a shela of a svara. Okay, we have a case that the lung has a certain kind of a color. Okay, so that you bring to a Rav, and then the Rav has to decide what is it similar to, what does the color look like. Okay, it's not black and white as they say. Okay, it's something that's totally in understanding and seeing. So in such a case, we shouldn't eat from something that a Rav paskin from. Okay. Thank you for the reminder. Why don't we worry about a chashad? Okay. So we say to stick away from the kir. So how did Rabbi Bar Chana buy the meat? Gemara explains, something that is sold by an estimation that you shouldn't buy, because you could say he made the price lower for you. But something that steak costs, 120 shekel a kilo, that's the price in the field. You weigh it and you buy it. So it doesn't make a difference. Such a thing you're allowed to buy, and you're not worried people are going to think that you paskin that it's kosher just in order to buy it. You could have bought a different animal.
So give the case of what we're not.
Sorry?
So what's the Mizdam B'Shuma? Give a case. What's the case of that?
Rabba Sharat Treifta, he paskin that a treifa is kosher, v'zaba mina b'Yisrael, and he bought the meat of it. Amalei bas Rav Chisda. So his wife told him, this is according to the Girsa, it says it's Rava, not Rabba. So Amar le Bas Rav Chisda, the daughter of Rav Chisda told him, his wife, Abba Shali Buchra, v'lo zabe mine bisra. Rav Chisda, who was a Kohen, said that this Bechar, okay, has a mum. If it has a mum, it could be shechted and eaten, but he didn't want to buy meat from there. He didn't want to use it. Amar lo, Rav answered it back, Hani mile Buchra da shuma mizdabin. Hacha mitkela muchach. A Bechar, once it has a mum and is sold, you don't sell it by weight. You sell it by estimation. Okay? So something that's sold by estimation, that you shouldn't buy. But regular meat that goes by weight, so it's not a problem, and
Everybody sees what you pay for.
yeah. Ma'ika, what is our worry? What do we worry about? Mishum umtzamal yasa, you worried that people are going to say that I kashed it just in order to get the best piece of meat? No, don't worry about that. Kol yoima umtzamal yasa zamnuli. Every day they give me the best piece of meat. So there's no worry of chashad. Yeah. Because he is who he is.
Butchers do that.
What? So to tell me the chachamim? Amar Rav Chisda. Weiter. Ezeu Talmid Chacham, who is considered a Talmid Chacham, Za'aroya Treifa La'atzmo, someone who has a suffix treifa and he still paskins that it is treif if it's treif, even though it's his. V'amar Rav Chisda, Ezeu Seinim Matonos Yichya, who is considered a person who hates presents and he would live. Za'aroya Treifa La'atzmo, someone who sees in paskins that something is treifa and it's treif for himself. So if he's not so worried about his own money and he paskins, okay, against himself, so of course he hates other people's presents as well.
Okay. You say, one who doesn't take other people's presents.
This is even a higher level. It's a raya. Because he paskins to himself that it is treif and he doesn't worry about his own, therefore we see that he also paskins so he wouldn't take other people's as well. Dorash Mazutra Mishmei Rav Chisda. Kol mi shekoire v'shoine. A person who sat and learned Mikra, learned Mishnah, and he is machmir with the suffix that he has for himself, and he was mishamish talmidei chachamim. Olav akosav oimer yegia kapecha kiseichel ashrecha v'toiv lach. Okay, because he eats only his yegia kapayim and he doesn't want other people's things. So ashrecha v'toiv lach. Avzvid omar zeicha v'neichel shnei olamois ha'olam hazeh v'olam haba. Ashrecha b'olam hazeh v'toiv lach b'olam haba. Rab Lazar kevu mishadri le mi bein nesiyah midei. When they sent him presents from the house of the president, Loi Shakil, he didn't take it because he didn't want the Seinim Matanas Yichne. And when they used to invite him to come to the house to eat there, he didn't go. You don't want me to live. So he didn't want to take presents and he didn't want to go there. When they used to send him a present, he wouldn't take it. But if he was invited to go eat there, that he would do. Why? It's a covet for them that I'm coming to eat there. It's not for me. I'm doing it for them.
I'm not sure if there's a shoe tonight.
Tonight, I don't know.